Republican from South Carolina sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Your response to Senator Schumer?
If you got confidence in him, fine. I mean, I just want to know what happened with James Rosen. He needs to reconcile the statement he made to the House that he had no knowledge of a potential prosecution. He's not involved in that kind of stuff, and to be wrong, reconcile that statement with the fact that he signed the affidavit to get the subpoena.
Let me take this out of should he stay or should he go. Do you believe, because you have a legal background as well, do you believe the American public is at risk with this man, Eric Holder, the top legal officer in our country?
I can't say he's at risk. I mean, we're at risk. I really do believe the Attorney General's credibility is at risk. I think the public is skeptical of the way he's run his shop. The statement he made and his actions are not reconcilable. So I think that'd be a good place to start. Come back to the Congress, Attorney General Holder, explain to us your actions versus what you said regarding the Fox News investigation.
Senator Schumer mentioned Fast and Furious and that answer, and there's an insinuation in that here we go again, another witch hunt by Republicans. And David Plouffe actually said something more directly about this in response as well to the IRS scandal. Let's take a listen to this.
My suspicion is the Republicans in Congress will stay too obsessed kind of surfing scandals, trying to repeal Obamacare for the 40th time, and less on the economy and doing the job they were sent.
What do you think about that? What's the right way to go about this? Because Republicans have had a lot of hearings on a multitude of different issues.
Yeah, but what have we learned?
What should you do? What's the right way to go about it moving forward?
To get to the truth is the best thing for the country. I don't believe this was a localized problem in Cincinnati. I think the conservative Tea Party groups were intentionally targeted as critics of the administration, and that people used the power the IRS gave them over these groups to silence one group and let the other group flourish, and that's bad for democracy. But I don't know if it goes back to the White House, but I do know this, that if a Bush administration official in charge of regulating 501c4 groups was accused of silencing liberal groups, and she took the Fifth Amendment, we would not be asking, are the Democrats going too far by trying to ask more questions.
So how do you use the Democrats' playbook for your own benefit if you want the truth?
All I want is the truth. I want her to come back in some fashion. I think she waived her Fifth Amendment rights. But after, what do we know about Benghazi? 9 months after the attack, have you heard from one survivor? I've destroyed a small forest trying to get survivors made available to the Congress. This administration is getting away with a lot. They're shielding the Congress from the survivors in Benghazi. The lady in charge of running the program that was used politically to target conservative groups took the Fifth Amendment. Attorney General said he knew nothing about a potential prosecution of a journalist. He signed the affidavit, and people are worried about us.
So here's the claims, right? Here's the claims by David Plouffe and the Democrats. And we're going to hear more of this, why it's important to talk about it, which is that here we go again, more hearings, more hearings, and more hearings. Yet there's big issues, immigration, the economy, of course, and this is a distraction from it, and we're not getting it.
Well, that means that we must, if they want us to stop, that means, do they care that the Attorney General denied having any knowledge of a potential criminal investigation of a journalist when he in fact signed an affidavit? Do they want to hear from the survivors? Why were they left abandoned for 7.5 hours? When it comes to all of these scandals, the IRS, do they not care that the government's power was used in a political fashion? Just shut them out and pursue the truth. And wherever it takes you, it takes you.
Is there anything you think you could do better?
Yeah, I would call Eric Holder back and say, now tell us again what you did with James Rosen. I would subpoena every survivor in Benghazi and challenge the administration to make them available to the Congress for oversight purposes. And I would call the lady back that took the Fifth Amendment and try to find out what the hell she did. We know nothing about these 3 scandals, and Democrats are trying to make us to be the bad guys. I've done nothing wrong. Darrell Isa's done nothing wrong. He didn't go before the Congress and say he was uninvolved when he was. So at the end of the day, we need to push forward to find out what happened with the IRS, what happened with James Rosen and Fox News, and what happened in Benghazi. And I'm not going to stop till we find out what happened.
Some big questions as you return from a recess starting tomorrow. Senator Graham, nice to have you in studio.
Thank you.
As always is. Look forward to more conversations, and we'll be right back with more happening now.